My name is Oliver Gaisford, and within today's presentation, I want to focus on the importance of sports psychology. And so you might be thinking, sports psychology is an interesting topic, and I think we're seeing it grow throughout the world. More and more people are focusing on the mind. And from the work I've done with other athletes and myself in the past, I think that many athletes understand the importance of physical health, staying in shape, reducing injury, allowing us to continue to train, continue to play in competitions and so on. But what I think people miss is the importance of the mind. And so today's presentation is going to look at 3 specific situations within your life where we can see how good or bad psychology can positively or negatively affect you. So the first situation I want to look at is within a competition. So, having the right mental state in a competition, for me, I'm a golfer, so I'm going to look at it from a golfing point of view. If I'm at a tournament on the golf course and I look over to another hole and there's another player there, I'm in an individual sport. So no matter what they do, they can't physically affect what I'm going to do. They can't hit me, they can't shout at me, they can't do anything. And so if I were to spend my time when I'm out there focusing on what they're doing, be it good or bad, I'm taking away from focusing on the things that I can be doing to better myself. And so what that's going to do is that's going to lead to me focusing on the wrong stimuli, missing potentially very important stimuli, which then lead to my decision-making process being wrong in some way, and me hitting a shot that's not going to produce the ideal outcome. Another thing that having good or bad psychology can do, will it allow you to avoid distraction, be that people that have come to watch, be that coaches that are there trying to help. And so once we start blocking out these distractions, we can then see improvements within our performance. And as our quote says, sport is only 10% physical. And so what we can take from that is that 10% of being successful in your sport is having the right body, having the right physical training and ready to do it. But 90% comes down to how ready you are mentally, how confident you are, and whether you actually believe you'll be able to complete your task. The second situation I want to look at is within practice. As we can see within that image, we have a golfer practicing. So one of the important aspects of practice is obviously working as hard as we can. But working hard doesn't always mean doing the most. Working hard means getting the most out of everything we do. And so if we have the right mental state and the right sports psychology, we're able to take positive feedback from negative results. So if I'm trying to work on a shot and I'm not getting it right, I'm not going to stand there and say, I'm useless, I'm rubbish, I should quit. I'm going to go, okay, I'm not getting it right now, but my results are different to yesterday, so something's changing. So that's a good aspect. And then I will either have the confidence in myself to fix it, or not be ashamed to go up to my coach, go up to a teammate and say, look, can you come over and help me out? So that's a very important part of practice. As we know, hard work always beats talent. And so if we're willing to work hard and we have the right mindset and we're ready to go and we have our goals set, that's a big part of sports psychology, is setting SMART goals. So SMART goals are specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound goals. So if we're setting goals that aren't specific to our sport, we're not going to be that interested in them. If you set me a goal to score 10 goals, I'm not going to be that interested. If they're not measurable, then we have no real way of comparing our results to before. And then if they're not achievable, we're going to lack motivation moving forward. If they're not realistic, the same thing with motivation. And if they're not time bound, we have that ability to say, well, I'll do it tomorrow. And we don't want that. We want practice to be as hard as we can every day. The final part I want to look at is away from the sport. Now you might be thinking, why are we looking not at the sport in sports psychology? Well, as we know, being in sport is stressful and it's tough, and there are good days, there are bad days. But what we need to make sure we do is we don't take the bad days in sport and turn them into bad days with our family, with our friends, etc. We need to find a way of keeping the two separate. And so when I'm talking about having a good mindset, I'm talking about being able to say, okay, look, okay, I didn't achieve what I wanted to today at practice or in a competition or whatever, but I can leave that there. I can go, I can think about something else, and when I come back the next day, I can address whatever issues I've either identified or work to identify what the issues were. But we're not having a situation where we're causing division within families and turning everything into something it doesn't need to be. And then, so in conclusion, I feel like all athletes, no matter what level you are, whether you're at college, professional, or even just a beginner, you feel stressed when you play sport. If you've got people watching you, you get nervous. And these are all very natural responses, and we're not trying to remove feelings of stress or remove nervousness, but we're trying to change the way that we respond to those stresses. And so I'm hoping that many of you are athletes watching this. You'll either be interested to learn more, work with a sports psychologist in the future, and be able to just boost your performances overall. So thank you.